Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Board Game Breakfast Live. I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike Delisio. Good morning.
And I'm the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacore.
Look at this cat. Look at this cat.
Look
Too
at him.
trendy. He's gonna, as soon as we're done here today, he's hopping on his chopper.
I'm gonna be going on my bike,
riding down to Fort Lauderdale or someplace like that.
My 10-speed bike. I'm gonna be going on my bike.
Yeah. Mountain climbing in Florida. That's a challenge.
Very easy to do.
Yeah. It's definitely a look. I'll say that. It's a look.
It's a look. It's a look.
We appreciate it, Stephen.
Yes.
It's good to have you again, buddy. Everybody, thanks for joining us. You might have noticed if you pay attention at all, really, that hey, Tom Vassal's not here. Only one of these dudes is wearing a hat, and it seems to be a fairly standard baseball cap. Right. Well, that's because Tom Vassal isn't around. He's out of town at the moment, so we decided to carry on without him. We will attempt to keep making fun of him to a minimum, Mr. Bonacore. Decorum and whatnot.
Yes. Class.
All right,
class is
let's keep it classy.
Yes.
Before we go on to much else, we've got a contest for you, folks. Woo. So let me talk about that. We've got a sponsored contest from Antimatter. The game is Antimatter from Barge Shark. This is currently on Kickstarter. It will be on Kickstarter until September 25th. And the contest details will be on the screen. How you enter. You email us, of course. Subject line Antimatter, as it says on the screen. We're going to be giving away, or they are going to be giving away, 3 copies of the game. That is 2 base pledge level copies and 1 premium copy. This is open worldwide, by the way, and you will get it if you win when the normal game fulfills around April 2021. The entries will be open until the 2nd, by the way, September 2nd, midnight. That's when we're going to cut you off. And if you want to enter, you need to answer a question. The question is as follows. Why are grifters a double-edged sword? And there's a hint. Go to the Kickstarter campaign page and watch the how to play video, and you're going to figure out why that sword is a double-edged weapon, right? What's good about it? What's bad about it? So there you go. Go to the Kickstarter, check out their how to play video, send in your entry, and good luck to you. Hope you check out the game. It looks really neat. It's kind of a space exploration, slinging around planets, moving your planets around game meets poker. And stealing the riches of the universe and all of these interesting ideas. The game looks really neat. There is a how-to-play video up there again, so check that out. And good luck to you. Good luck to everybody entering.
And in addition, really quickly, Z and Steven, I don't know, if you wanted to get an idea on how the game plays, we also did a live play, Roy, Tom, and I. And if you want to see, I'm just going to come out and say it, a masterclass in how to play Texas Hold'em poker. Just take a look at that video, because I really, I don't want to say I just wrecked it, but I wrecked it.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not really a good poker player. We should talk. Maybe I'll teach you a little bit.
Wow. All right. Well, we're gonna have to have a little Antimatter face-off between
there
you
we
guys.
Go. Nice.
Fantastic. All right, folks. So before we get to some news, of course, we are going to throw it over to some contributors right now.
This is a solo game. Well, not really a solo game, but you can play it solo. Dinosaur Table Battles. It's a war game with dinosaurs. Well, meat-eating dinosaurs, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex with the little arms. It was always a war. It was survival. You know what? It's dinosaurs. How bad can it be? Huh? This is a game by Tom Russell from Hollenspiele. 4 pages of rules. And dinosaurs. Did I say that? Dinosaurs. You want to get your little chitlin to get into war games? He ain't gonna say no. Dinosaurs. Hey, son or daughter, you want to play a dinosaur game? Yes, papi! Try it. 4 pages of rules. Won't take you long to learn. To teach your little chitlins. Escape from Hades. It's a dream team design development. Designed by Fred Manzo. Escape from Hades is a true solitaire game where you have to save the princess in the year 3044 from a jail. She's a prisoner. Save the princess. It's like Link. Save the princess, right? There's about 9 pages of rules. It's a 15-page rule book. Don't worry about it. Everything's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And you want to tell your little chitlins, you want to say, hey, chitlins, you want to save the princess in the future? Escape from Hades? Sure. That's what they're going to say. You're going to read the rules. You're going to explain to them. You're going to have a blast. Yeah, it's a solo game, but they can play with you solo. Leaping Lemmings by John Paniski. Oh, John Paniski is a war game designer for sure. And now you're going to say, but Dad, Leaping Lemmings, what kind of war game is that? Well, it's psychological. This is a 2-player game where you're a genetic scientist and you create lemmings, those dumb little creatures. And what you gotta do is you gotta be the first scientist to get your lemming clones to jump over a cliff and die. Well, it's not that easy because there's hungry eagles up in the air. And they're gonna come and eat you. They're the first one to jump off. I'm telling you, that ain't easy. Leaping Lemmings. And that was me, being as normal as possible. I'll see you next week.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jonna from Pip Wonder, and today I wanted to talk about being in the role of the teacher of the game and winning. Do you avoid winning board games when you have taught the game? So I recently started teaching board games to other people. This is something I've always kind of shied away from, mostly because my husband's a really good teacher and my husband wasn't around, so I got to teach the game. And by the way, it's very rewarding and fun to have the opportunity to teach a board game, but it does come with this feeling that you should maybe hold back and let the people that you have taught have a chance to kind of stretch the legs, see how the game works. I'm not saying that you let everyone win, but I'm just saying, like, do you feel more sensitive about being in that role as the teacher and the outcome of the game? Another point I want to bring up is when you are the teacher of your children. Do you let your children win? My 5-year-old and 3-year-old love to play checkers. They ask us all the time. I don't let them win if I can help it. They do beat me sometimes, but it's a fair victory. I don't play cutthroat with them, but I don't necessarily just give them the win because they're cute. How do you guys feel about this? Do you let your kids win, or do you teach them the hard way that you have to earn wins, and also that winning isn't the point of the game? The point of the game is to have a fun experience and to become more skilled and grow and learn from the experience. I'd love to hear if you disagree, if you found other things work. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from those board gaming teachers out there. How do you feel about being the winner? Thanks so much for watching this segment. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.
What's up, everyone? My name's Melissa McCack, and I'm here with my brother, Justin Maycack.
Hey, everybody.
This is Smashin Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love, and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I'm going to have Justin talk about a video game.
So I'm talking about City Skyline today. City Skyline is this city building game where you literally just build roads and connect them to other roads and everything, and then you designate what the spaces around those roads are going to be, like business, industrial, residential, all that kind of stuff. And it's all about laying out your roads the way you want them to and how you want to formulate the business sectors and everything.
I want to connect that to Tokyo Highway. Tokyo Highway is a dexterity sort of game. I like comparing dexterity games to video games for, I guess sort of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But anyway, Justin was talking about, like, you planning out all the roads and everything in City Skylines. And that's pretty much what you're doing in Tokyo Highway, where you're planning out the roads, you're trying to go under and over and trying to get all your cars out quickly as possible. It becomes a race of a game, which is very, very cool. It's got like Jenga-like components, or a mechanism where you're trying to balance things and not have everything fall over. But I really enjoy it. It's a quirky little game, but it's fun and it's cool. And that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. You could check out our channel on YouTube, Twitch. We've got a podcast all at Room 51. Although Twitch is Room 51 Live. You can follow our social media. We're everywhere. Anyway, we'll catch you next time.
It's time to talk about some news. First news of the day, of course, I've just been informed, is Stephen Bonacor's new look. Ladies and gentlemen, the new and improved, retired, but still incredibly attractive Stephen Bonacor. He's working on the stubble, the hair. There's a little like in it, I would say, but like in a restrained amount, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been careful.
Would you go as far as to call him coiffed? I think I might go that far.
If I could spell it, I would, man. I try not to say words I can't spell.
I can't spell or say that word, but I figured like in retirement you have to find some things to do. So I decided I'll grow a beard. Because it's something to do.
Got it. I thought you meant and I am going for like fashion industry look.
No, you are positively glowing, Stephen. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you, boys. I appreciate that.
You're really glowed up once you're retired.
No, I'm schwitzing. I'm blushing here.
All right, now let's get to some actual news, shall we? All right, we're starting off with a new announcement from Rio Grande Games for a large space game called Beyond the Sun from newcomer designer Dennis K. Chan. This one is, of course, from, like I said, Rio Grande, who is known for quite a few other space games. They've got Race for the Galaxy and Roll for the Galaxy, Jump Drive, New Frontiers, all of those being, of course, in the same series from Tom Lehman. Right. Well, this is a new one, and it is a 2 to 4 player design, plays in about 2 hours or so. And it is all about, of course, economic development, the science, the galactic influence going on out there in space. It looks neat. It actually looks different than the usual space game that I would expect to see, usually being a bunch of hexagons, bits moving on there. I like that this has more of a tech tree feel. That seems to be front and center in the game. And I appreciate that. I like a game that uses a theme I enjoy, but it's trying to do something a little bit different here. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw this, I saw this the other day also, and it was like, that's really an attractive cover. Yeah. I love the lines, the way it's all moving. I got to comment on the art there. And so this is not going to be like a 4X style game, of course, that some of the bigger, types of space games are, but it looks really interesting. It looks very Euro, and I think that this, there is room in this world for Euro games in space, so like Terraforming Mars, but there are other ones that can be out there, and this is going to be probably a good one. I like Rio Grande's stuff.
Yeah,
is this
looks neat.
Is this a first-time designer? Do we know?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, Stephen wants to talk a little bit about some data that just came out. Stephen.
Yeah. So top 10 games in the hobby channel for board games, and this comes from the spring of 2020, and this also came from ICV2. While the games on this list, I would say, are going to be a little suspect, meaning that ICV2 has no way of getting this data and ensuring its accuracy. They poll retail stores, and obviously they're not polling Amazon, and they're not getting sales from some other online. They're polling a bunch of retail stores. But the most important thing that I saw, because I follow this a lot, what are the biggest selling games in the industry? The thing that I saw the most about this is that it is much less Asmodee oriented than it has been in the past. So in the past, I've seen as many as 8 of these games be Asmodee companies. Now we have 3 on the list, right? So seeing smaller companies on this list made me really, really happy to see. That was my big takeaway from this list. I had another takeaway. Anybody comment before that?
I don't think so. The one that surprised me on the list here was Betrayal at House on the Hill. Actually, I'm surprised it's still on this list. Everything else makes sense.
That was really weird to me as well. Maybe with the bringing back of the Scooby-Doo version of it, which I actually have here, Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. I am a big fan of Betrayal at House on the Hill, and I've got all of the iterations of it. So that's the only reason I could think that this hit the list again. But even more odd, I thought, on this list was Charterstone. So Charterstone, right, came out 2 years ago-ish, and it obviously had a big splash. Stonemaier games always have a big splash, but then it really fell off the radar. And in fact, a lot of retailers were kind of angry because the game didn't sell enough for them, and Jamie was taking flack, which he did not deserve. But for some reason, it's got a resurgence, and I'm really happy that that's the case. Again, Stonemaier, very small company. Great to see that he's got something that has legs in it even after a dip, and it's come back, and I think that's really cool.
Well, there's a couple of potential timing issues. Number one, it depends on when this data was collected, because there was an app that just came out for Charterstone that may have rekindled a little bit of interest, and this was a new printing as well. I do believe that it was in between printings for a while. So
this is essentially second quarter 2020, spring 2020. I believe second quarter 2020 is what they're going for here. So, but so that was my 2 takeaways on this slide. I thought it's an interesting slide for those reasons.
Yeah, and we have
another one.
Well.
Yeah, that has card games, there's one that really just stands out and punches me in the face because it's not a card game. But go ahead and tell us about this one.
Again, I always find those are the 2 parts of the direct part of our industry of board games, and card and dice games are basically also in the same part of our industry. And again, good to see some smaller companies mixed in with some bigger companies on this list. It's great seeing Indie Boards and Cards, my former sister company, has Coup on this list. Of course, we're going to see Codenames. And of course, you get the non-hobby, really like Exploding Kittens, because it just sells and sells and sells. Yes. It's just a good snapshot. Again, the actual games, every game is not going to be really 100% true, because I don't think that they can get this to be exact. But it's an interesting mix of games that I saw on this list as well, of course, as the other one.
It's very interesting, especially when you consider Teotihuacan is on the best card games of
that was odd.
The best-selling ones. Yeah.
Right. And
Teotihuacan from NSKN is a massive board game.
Euro,
certainly not something I would call a card or a game, but I guess that it just ended up on there for some reason. Everything else makes sense. You're right that there is quite a mix between sort of things like Dungeon Mayhem, just grabbing a chunk of the market that would not be interested in something like Teotihuacan. So that's an interesting list, a nice cross section of who's out there buying games.
Would you say this is probably a little bit more anecdotal than data-driven, though, if you're just calling and getting opinions from people, from store owners and such?
I would definitely say it's anecdotal. I'm sure that the retail stores that they polled gave ICV2 actual numbers.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he's got enough sampling to guarantee. Now, I'm sure that like Codenames is number 1. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the case. And I know what we sell of Coup. I got to stop saying what Indie Boards and Cards has sold of Coup and continues to sell. So I can say that some of those games absolutely, but like Teotihuacan, which I can't even pronounce. Why is that on the list even? Don't even know. So, there's going to be all that kind of stuff, in there as well.
Sure.
All right. So now we've got a new coalition here, the Buy Safe America Coalition. Stephen, tell us a little bit about this. It's very interesting.
Why, thank you, Z. Let me talk about the Buy Safe Coalition. So this is about a dozen powerful industry associations, including the Toy Association, the Mass Retailer Organization, Retail Industry Leaders Association. They've joined together to create something called Buy Safe America Coalition. And this is specifically to lobby Congress and using the Department of Homeland Security's mandate to that dominant online marketplaces, including Amazon and Facebook, are facilitating and trafficking pirated and counterfeit goods. Now, I'm not going to go into my usual rant about Amazon, eBay, Wish. Yeah. I could literally rant for 20 minutes about the problem within the board game industry about counterfeit goods. But the point here is that this is going to get taken more and more seriously because our entire economy has moved so far from just the beginning of this year to now to an e-commerce economy, right? Because of COVID. So the amount of online sales has almost doubled since this entire thing started. Now, and of course, what does that mean? All of these expletive deleted guys out there that want to make a quick buck on counterfeit goods are doing it even in a bigger way. Now, Amazon has taken certain measures already to reduce this because they're now requiring online retailers in their market space to list themselves with actual physical addresses and this and that. But it's not nearly enough. And places like eBay are completely, full of counterfeits. If you're buying games on eBay of any popular game, you're buying a counterfeit game. It's just a known fact, and you shouldn't do it. So the point of this is that this is going to get in front of Congress in the near future, and that's going to hopefully put this legally enforced in a much bigger way. And I'm very much looking forward to this because it's also like children's products. Think about children's products that are out there that aren't safety tested and things like that. So it goes way beyond our industry. I mean, it goes into every part of our lives. I mean, it could be hand sanitizers, which we're all buying, and they're not saying what's in them and things like that. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, the counterfeit across the board is extremely widespread and dangerous. I saw a whole documentary about this, and one of the biggest issues was makeup products and beauty products that were counterfeit with subpar materials that were harmful. So absolutely.
Think about putting vitamins in your system that you think are vitamins, or skin products, or any of this stuff. Right. I mean, it's even worse than a board game, which probably ain't going to kill you if you're not eating the harmful things that they might put in it. But things that you actually put in your body or touch your skin. So I think this is going to be a bigger and bigger and bigger thing, and it's all for the good. I mean, there are certain laws that we don't need, and there are certain laws that we need, and this is a good one.
Well, I'll leave beauty products up to you, Steven. Let's go ahead and keep on rocking with the news.
I use a lot of product. Look at this hair.
I know. We realize that.
Very aware, yes.
I'm a sexy man. Sorry.
Where's Paula? I need to talk to Paula right
She's listening to me over there.
Listening to you. This is amazing right here. All right, next up in some news, Masters of the Universe Fields of Eternia board game is coming from Archon Studio and Mattel working together. They've announced a tabletop action adventure board game. It's going to have 32 millimeter miniatures.
Nice.
Very Nicely detailed. Done. I thought that was a fantastic delivery. It was good. So
that's why you are the professional that you are.
Bring on the 80s nostalgia, of course, for this game. You're going to get He-Man and Skeletor and She-Ra. All of these characters, of course. This is coming later this year to Kickstarter towards the end of the year, they're saying. And it will be released exclusively in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. If you pre-order now, you get a limited edition He-Man on his Battle Cat miniature and all sorts of stuff. They're also talking about how the pieces are fully plastic, so no PVC, all kinds of stuff. There's a Castle Grayskull dice tower, so I know Mr. Vassal's going to jump on that. He's going to want to get himself a Castle Grayskull
Yeah.
So this looks neat. I thought. Go ahead.
I think there's an IP thing going on here, licensing issue, because there's two coming out at almost the exact same time.
Yes.
One that's
I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, one that's exclusive to, I believe, the Americas, or at least North America, and this one that's exclusive to Europe. So I think that it's just a licensing issue.
Isn't Come On, I think, is coming out with a Masters of the Universe game. Yeah, so it must be, maybe this just went on the market and the rights just got sold or something. I don't know what's going on, but there are two Masters of the Universe games coming soon.
When you license IP, you often have to license it for a region only, like only Europe, only North America. So that's exactly what's happening here. Now, as far as my take on this, everything you said sounds great. I was just too old to be like a lover of Masters of the Universe. So it's more like your generation that probably watched this as a kid. I didn't, so the characters don't excite me as much as.
I don't know, Steven.
You.
If you think everything I just said sounds great, then you clearly missed me going mano a mano with the metric system.
Steven's just waiting for the Come On version of Steamboat Willie, the board game. That's what he's looking for.
Wow. Back when they added color. Remember that, Steven? Back when they added color to the world.
Listen, Tom Vassell. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was in the room just now.
I'm sorry. I'm not proud of myself, Steven. I'm not proud of myself.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
All right, next up, we've got Deepwater Games announcing Franklin and Ghost Bad Guy Brawl. This is a new little sort of chaotic, it sounds like, card game coming out. And I had to look this up because I wasn't sure what it was. Franklin and Ghost seems to be a comic book that then became a cartoon as well. So an animated show. And now they've got this game coming. You're going to be fighting off aliens, robots. You're going to be fighting off big baddies. You're going to be taking them down. You have to be careful you don't go down yourself. And you can call in Franklin, Ghost, and Delilah for special effects and powers. 2 through 6 players, 40 minutes. It's supposed to be ridiculous. Tons of laughs, they're saying. Cool. I don't know anything about this, and I know Steven doesn't know. They didn't have animation back when he was a kid.
Steamboat Willie was the thing I was watching. No. I know nothing about this IP, but I will say it looks beautiful. I love the style of the art on this.
Yeah,
so to me, I would almost put it on my shelf for the artwork. And it's funny. I mentioned artwork a lot on the last two shows, the last show I was on and this one. And I'm not like, I don't buy games for artwork usually, but I look at this and I'm like, I like this.
Yeah, it's got a good look.
Yeah.
All right, next up. I know this one's going to excite Mr. Canada very much. Fantasy Flight is, they've announced already the Ant-Man pack. They did a Wasp announcement, but now they're giving a little more detail. The main thing here is, of course, that now you're going to be able to play as Ant-Man Marvel Champions. That can be your hero.
Right.
And normally in the game, you have the one side that is who you actually are in real life, right? Scott Lang in this case. Right. On the other side, your persona, Ant-Man. Well, this one, that card is actually a folded card. So you've got Scott Lang, you've got Ant-Man, and then you fold this thing open, and you've got Giant Man, basically.
Right.
In the middle with a double-sized card that you can become as well. Sounds neat. I am worried about that crease on the card, I have to say. But it sounds cool, and this game is just rocking it, man. This game is... Yeah. Is making buku bucks, I imagine. It's doing quite well. It's getting a lot of love.
Yes.
And I'm glad that Ant-Man is going to finally be joining the fight. This should be coming out around October.
I've never played Marvel Champions, but everything I've heard is great, and this looks great, and I love the gimmick of making Ant-Man supersized. I think that is only Asmodee, only Fantasy Flight could pull something like that off, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's neat. All right, next up. Did you guys see the Batman trailer? Have you guys watched it?
I did, yes.
I have not, but we covered this on Board Games Insider as well. So you take it away first.
Yeah. Well, basically, there in the trailer, of course, the Riddler being one of the main baddies in the new movie. They showed a couple of sort of cryptic messages, if you would, and some people cracked that riddle, and one of them is game designer Mike Selinker. So the ultimate, puzzle is, if you would, that the Riddler poses a question to Batman, which is, what does a dead man do? What does a liar do when he's dead?
Right.
Something like that. And then the answer was a series of numbers. And so having figured it all out, the answer was he lies still, which is very cool. It's very funny.
Yeah,
it's a neat little play on words. And but Mike Selinker, in like a 12-part post on Twitter, figured this whole thing out. And I had heard it from other places as well, so I'm sure he was not the only one to figure it out, but it's pretty cool. And then this also was apparently covered in Forbes magazine. So
yes,
which is crazy.
Which is really cool. So from what I understood, Mike not only solved it, Mike was, I heard, first to solve it, and he solved it sort of in real time. In other words, he watched it, he got all the clues, and he tweeted about it as he was doing it. Like, so it was not like he solved it like in it took him like 6 hours or something like that, and he showed the pattern of what he was doing to get the result. Yeah. So I think you can see on the screen here, it says like 3 of 12, 12 of 12 when he finally got the whole thing. So Mike is an awesome guy. He's a evil genius. He's just very, very smart, great game designer, and that's really cool that it was covered even in
that is
Forbes.
That really is neat.
We've got plenty of those evil geniuses in this industry. I got to say, folks with minds that are just amazing. The stuff they can come up with is unbelievable.
None of us on this podcast are
certainly not.
No.
All right, next up, we've got Epic Scale Games secures the rights to develop a cooperative dice placement game based on a fantasy novel called Automated Alice, a novel by Jeff Noon. I know nothing about this. It is apparently about Alice and her clone/robot, and it's a doll named Celia. And they are going to be going on adventures, I guess. Cool. Yeah. Good luck to this game. We have no clue what this is.
No. I knew nothing about it. I did a quick Google search. I guess they're calling it like a threequel or something like that. It's supposed to be obviously based in the world of Alice in Wonderland.
Sure.
And I guess she goes through a grandfather clock. And I mean, there has to be somewhat of a following for this IP. I just had never heard of it. I don't know if it was maybe more European focused. I think it's set in Birmingham, England. So I don't know. Maybe it's just something that didn't really come over to the Americas as much, but I had never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never heard of the IP. Obviously, we have all heard of Alice in Wonderland.
Sure.
So I think that they'll be able to drag in people who like that genre, which is completely public domain. So anybody can make a game on Alice in Wonderland. But they're dragging in the actual novels that are other novels that are based on this Alice in Wonderland automated robot woman. Interesting.
All right. Next up, Mandala Stones from Board and Dice. This is a new announcement from them. They explain a little bit here how to play, where you are, picking up an artist, which I guess is one of the stones, moving into a different position, gathering stones around that one. From the description, it's a little hard to pull out how the game will feel and how the game will play. It's clearly an abstract game, though it looks very beautiful. And I saw this earlier this week, actually, and from just a glance at the board, a glance at the cover, it looks great. I love this kind of look. I like this aesthetic a lot, and I'm in. I want to check this out. But this is the kind of game that just reading how it works, you gather stones, you move them, you score the top ones. I can't grok it. I need this in front of me. So, but these guys know what they're doing with production, values, and they know how to pick them. So I'm excited to give this one a go.
Yeah, me too. Board and Dice has earned my attention just on the basis of their track record here, especially in the last year and a half or so. So I'm interested, even though, abstract mandala type games wouldn't normally excite me, but the look of this one, the pedigree of the publisher, I'll definitely take a look at it.
Absolutely.
Pretty looking game.
Another thing they're doing is they're putting out 5 RPG scenarios based on some of their Euro games, which sounds wackadoodle.
It does.
They're going to be putting out D&D scenarios based on Teotihuacan, Tekenu, Tawantinsuyu, Mandala Stones. I don't know how that's going to work out. And Traintopia. All of those other ones have themes. Mandala Stone, do you represent various pebbles in the world? An adventure? I have no idea, but I
want to be the purple pebble.
Yes.
Oh, right.
But it's actually not
stats.
So just a quick correction, it's not D&D campaigns. They say it's system agnostic. So basically, they're just I don't know, scenarios, I guess, that you could plug and play whatever role-playing system you like into it.
So I was going to ask that, so what system do you use to play these RPGs? Do you just somehow take the story that they're talking about and bring it into Dungeons and Dragons, or I
think so, yeah.
I assume that's the idea. You can adjust this to, Pathfinder. You can adjust it to D&D, whatever you want. So
I took a quick look at them. Most of them are just text giving you scenarios. One of them did have an actual map, so there was a bit of that to it. So I don't know. It's a very intriguing idea. I get the impression there's a lot of tongue in cheek here. Yeah. But it looks like they did actually, come up with some scenarios. So hey, why not?
It's a cool way to get some promotional material out there. I think it's really neat. Mm-hmm. All right, and then a couple of last pieces of news here from Garfield Games. We've got the first expansion to Paladins of the West Kingdom City of Crowns has been announced. It's going to allow you to add new extensions to both the main board and the player boards around the table. So players are going to have a new attribute to manage, new actions available each turn, and that's basically it. So growing the original game. I thought Paladins was quite a large game with lots going on, but this is more if you want it. These guys usually support their games with expansion. So
I was going to say that. I actually recently played Paladins of the West Kingdom, and I got my head handed to me because there's so much. I thought there was so much going on and the interactions, and I was constantly getting my guys thrown in jail or whatever it is, and it was rough. I obviously lost badly, but that makes sense. Adding more to it, okay. It's a good system though. I do enjoy the game.
All of these games have pretty neat ideas, and so again, somebody out there wants more.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this game. I'm all over it. So
yeah. All right, and the other thing is that they've announced Hadrian's Wall. This one is set in 122 AD. Excuse me, in north of Britannia. The Roman Emperor Augustus witnessed the aftermath of the war and the savage Picts, and you're going to be fighting, as you can see on the screen there, tons of going on. This looks like a spreadsheet to me.
Yeah.
But again, Garfield knows what they're doing when it comes to designing, and so I am interested to see how this works out.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. This is a new designer for. I don't know if the designer's
Bobby Hill,
period, but they haven't done anything that I'm aware of for Garfield. So it looks almost like a complex flip and right type of a game to me. So I'm interested, but there's very little information about it right now. Just the little bit that we have here.
That's true. I do like that cover. I have to say, I think it's a great looking cover.
The cover pops. It's they're not using a realistic style. They're almost cartoony, but not not. So it does look a little spreadsheety, as you said.
It does.
Sure. It does. But that cover, the hard black lines. On the outside, outlining everything is fantastic. It really pops. And that's it for the news today, everybody. So let's keep on trucking, and we'll be back with a little game show.
I'm it.
And we are Our Family Plays Games.
Yeah.
And today, we're going to show you another one of our favorite family games.
And that's Roll For It by Calliope Games, and it's 2 to 8 players. Now, there's something different about this, because this is the deluxe edition. And you can have 2 editions, that is the red box and the purple box. This does 2 to 4, this does 2 to 4, and you can combine them to do 2 to 8 also.
Now, Roll For It is an awesome little game. It's so simple and it's addictive because you've got all these beautiful colored dice, and all you have to do is roll the dice and match what's on the card.
That's right. That's all you got to do.
All you have to do.
Just like it says, roll it,
for it.
match it, score it. That's all.
Now, you
roll
know,
it, match it, score it.
Most times, the dice ain't nice.
Dice are
You
never
know?
nice.
But that's okay.
Yep,
You keep
yep.
rolling until they become nice.
Try to get nice there. Try to get nice.
So we love Roll For It.
Yes.
It's a game that you're going to play over and over in
Yes,
succession.
yes. And your family is going to love it. Yes.
So if
Yes.
you haven't tried Roll For It, I say try it.
Do it. 2 to 8 players?
Yes.
That's family and grandpa, granddaddy, everybody.
Easy to set up, easy to play.
Yes.
Beautiful, colorful dice. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong at all. Yes.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great breakfast.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome back to Retro Board Game Corner. Here I have Welcome Back Cotter, the Up Your Nose with a Rubber Hose game, published in 1976 by Ideal. This is a 2 to 6 player game in which you take the role of one of the sweat hogs to try to complete the iconic phrase first. Let me set this up and show you how it works. This is what the game board will look like set up. The first thing you're going to do is pick your favorite sweat hog to be for that game. On every turn, you're going to roll a 6-sided die and move that many spaces on the dotted path here. The big dots count as one space. When you come up to a space that actually says something, you just follow the directions on the board. For example, this space says draw a woodman card. You draw a woodman card, do whatever it says. This space says draw a cotter card. You draw a cotter card, do whatever it says. Some of the spaces will tell you to move a specific character a number of spaces, and you just follow those instructions. The object of the game is to collect these 6 cards that make up the phrase, and you do that by moving up to the front of the class in each row. You don't have to do it in any specific order, and you don't have to land there by exact die count, except if it's the final card, then it has to be the exact die count. Once you have the iconic phrase, you'll pick up the rubber hose and say, "Up your nose with a rubber hose." You have won the game. Welcome Back Cotter ran from 1975 to 1979. I didn't start watching it until the final season, and I was still a little young to get most of the humor. Rewatching it now, I still don't know what "up your nose with a rubber hose" means. Well, that's all the time I have for now. If you have a comment below, or you could tweet it to me at Retro Board Gamer. And as always, may your rolls be high.
Hi folks, I'm Andy from Potable Gaming, and this is my segment Change of Venue, where I talk about a different board game IP that I like as a board game, but also think would work really well in a different medium. Today I want to talk about a relatively new game called Adventure Mart from Hub Games. Now this is another one of those games about running a shop in an adventuring town full of RPG tropes, which was quite a novel idea, but now there's at least 3 games I can think of, 2 of which I own, that deal with this. But the thing I like about Adventure Mart is 2 things. It's got incredibly adorable artwork, and the style is also somewhat different. So a lot of these things always take place in traditional sword and board RPG worlds. This takes place in this weird modernistic version, in which the mart that you run is actually a Japanese-style convenience store, which is a really interesting experience, but also adds a quite nice dynamic to it. And that's why I think it would work really well in a different medium. So the art style is adorable, as I've mentioned, and it would fit really well as a kid's show. And you could have a regular show style thing where the lead character lives every day by selling things to adventurers and getting involved in scrapes along the way. And honestly, a kid-friendly version would be fantastic. It would be really fun. Something like regular show has a really interesting style that also appeals to people beyond just the childhood audience. But it could also work as one of those adult animations I regularly recommend in these shows. Something akin to Bob's Burgers or Archer or something of that nature. Its style is reminiscent of Netflix's Agretsuko, which I've not watched but has adorable art style, and that could work. I imagine this cross between Clerks by Kevin Smith and ridiculous fantasy adventure tropes mixed together at the same time. In fact, honestly, there's a part of me that wants to just see the 2 guys from Clerks act as characters in this, and just that's just never addressed. I think that'd be great fun. But I know what you think down in the comments below. Have you heard of this game? Would you watch this show? Would you watch either version? Which version do you think would be better? Let me know down in the comments below. But as always, I've been Andy, and it's your round.
All right. Are you guys ready to play a game? Z, Steven, are you ready to play a game?
Do it. I better win this.
Games? Really? We do games?
Oh, there will be games. There will be games. I've got my legal pad, so you know it just got real.
Oh,
okay.
My goodness.
So, gentlemen, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be looking at board games that are themed around animals. Huh? Animals. Who doesn't like a good animal-themed game?
I love animals.
Right? Am I right? Okay, so what I've done is I've just arbitrarily chosen some animals, okay? And I've got them right now listed in alphabetical order so I don't betray any possible strategies to you all. And there are seven animals.
I'm glad it's not a math game. You can't count.
No, there would be no reason for that. I chose 7 animals, and what you're going to be doing first is you're going to guess which of these 7 animals has the highest number of appearances on Board Game Geek in the title of the game. Okay,
in the title of the game.
So let me just quickly go through the 7 animals. We have bear, bird, cat,
cat,
dog,
doggy,
fish, frog, and snake. Okay.
Did you really have to repeat each one as it went?
It's important. Now,
writing them down.
What's important for you to realize, and if you're playing along with this in the chat or at home as well, is that I did this on Board Game Geek, and I had to be very, very regimented. In other words, I had to put in the search particular words with quotes around them. Okay, and so the search terms were either bear or bears. Okay. Bird or birds, cat or cats, dog or dogs, fish, fishes, and fishing. Okay. Frog and frogs, snake and snakes. Okay. So
frogging.
No frogging. Frogging is not a valid term. Okay. So keep that in mind.
Fine.
That cuts out hundreds of possibilities.
Oh,
so.
Absolutely.
All right. So of those 7 animals, this is going to be like our final reveal. This is worth 5 points, where everything is worth either 1 or 2 points. Which of those animals shows up most in a title on Board Game Geek? So write that somewhere. That will be our final reveal.
Oh, okay. So pick the one that shows up the most.
Pick the one that you think shows up on the most.
The singular and the plural the same way you just
Correct.
said it. All right, the number one.
Don't say it out loud. Write it.
I'm not saying anything. All right, all right. Okay. Oh, this is a tough one, but okay, I got it.
Okay. Now, just in the interest of keeping things snappy, because we went pretty in depth on that news. Now, what I want to do is for 1 point, we're going to start alphabetically with bear. I want you both to give me a guess as to the number of appearances on Board Game Geek. And you could, the way to really do this would be to write it down, but do you want to just say it and we'll go on the honor system and whoever is closest gets the point, or do you want to write it down?
Well, we'll write it and then say
okay.
it. All right. So we're both going to guess how many, if I typed in bear or bears.
Bears.
The total number you get.
Yes. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, so Z, what do you got?
I said 114.
Ooh.
I said 135.
The correct answer is 168. Stephen Bonacore gets 1 point. Now, for 2 points, and I probably should have made this worth more because this is really hard. What is the game on BGG that has that in bear or bears in the title that is of the highest rank?
Oh Lord!
It ain't Bear Valley. That was mine.
Just think of a game that has bear or bears in the title.
Definitely not that.
I don't even know if this counts, but I guess I'm going to say it.
I have a feeling I know what you guessed, and we'll find out if it counts or not.
Okay.
Okay. Before we reveal, did either? Okay. Go ahead. Did you both put Baron Park?
No, I put Barbarians, and I wasn't sure if it was in the center.
Neither of those would have shown up.
Why?
Because the word bear or bears is not in either.
It's got to be specifically that as a word. Got it.
So using my arbitrary and much too difficult to keep up with terminology, the correct answer was Conflict of Heroes: Awakening the Bear at rank 559.
Wow.
Yeah. Very good. I like that. All right, moving on quickly, gentlemen.
Sound effects.
Now we're going to bird. Bird or birds. Write down the number of appearances on BGG for games with
Wingspan.
Yes.
Wingspan
Which, of
would
course,
not fulfill the
everyone's thinking
criteria.
of, but it doesn't count.
No, it does not.
All right, fine. Bird. All right.
All right, what do you guys got?
Okay, mine is like the agent. 47.
47, and you said 66, Stephen?
Yes.
The correct answer is 116. Another point for Stephen.
Oh, you're making it too easy on me, Tom. Oh, I'm Z. I'm sorry.
All right, now, what is the game with bird or birds in the title that is the highest rank on BGG? Write that down.
Jeez.
I know, this is very hard.
Bird. Awakening the bird. Yeah, I keep losing. You're gonna awaken the bird.
Okay.
I got yours. Don't show me anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I got yours.
I made something up because I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's an actual game, but if it's not, we need to make that happen.
I'll make this game happen.
All right. Can you show it again, Stephen? I don't know if everyone's seen it.
Go ahead. What is it?
I'm joking.
Bird
it's been
dog.
up there for 5 minutes.
Bird dog.
Bird dog. What did you get, Steve?
Bird dog. Alone in this world with my little bird dog.
There you go.
I put birds and bees.
Oh, interesting. Now, the one that actually fulfills my criteria would have been birds of a feather at rank 3,866.
Good night.
But Tom said that I should allow songbirds, which is the little card game, at 2318. But either way, no one gets any of the extra points for that. All right. Right now we're at 2 for Steven and 0 for Steve. Or Steve. Roy. I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. Roy.
Steve.
2 for Steve and 0 for Z. All right. I promised Roy that I would keep up on the score. Cat. How many appearances for cat or cats on Board Game Geek?
Steven keeps beating me, so I'm going with a really high number, like 3,000 or something.
You just have to be closest. It's I didn't say without going over, so you want to be closest to the number.
1 billion cats. All right, I got it.
Okay.
So 361.
You said 361?
Seriously?
Yes.
And I said 1 for every day of the year, so 365.
Wow. Oh, that is
wow.
So
this
funny.
is amazing because Steven is actually 100 off. It's 261. If you had come in 4 less, Z, you would have got it. So
you're not going to believe this, but the number I wrote before I wrote 361 was 261. Can you imagine? I changed. I'm like, no, I got to go higher.
It does.
Yeah,
I did.
I
am not lying. I wrote 261, but I still got a point.
Insider trading info, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
I got Paula over here. She's Googling, going on Board Game Geek and giving me the numbers.
So you could get close here though, Z, because right now it's 3-0. But if you get the name right, if you get the name of the game that's the highest rank that has cat or cats, you can get 2 points. So, what's the highest ranked game on Board Game Geek that has cat or cats in the title?
Here's my answer, Mike.
All right.
Cat
scratch is incorrect.
Cat scratch me, mom. Cat. Jeez, man, I'm
cats
bad.
Or cats.
I have no idea. It's not a game. I'm just picking things.
All right, I got it.
I got cats are great. I have no idea.
Cats are great. I like I use the letter R.
Oh, that's a perfect answer.
Cat Lady is a perfect answer. However, it's the incorrect answer.
It was a good one.
At 205, the Isle of Cats is the highest rank cat or cats game on Board Game Geek.
Isle of Cats?
Yeah, City of Games, Frank West. It's a fantastic polyomino game.
I'll give you a point, Z, because Cat Lady is a better answer.
I know.
Cat Lady is a good game. Cat Lady is a good game.
How's that not the one? Come on, Cat.
All right.
This game is...
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah. Dog or dogs, number of appearances on Board Game Geek in the title. Dog or dogs, what's the number there? Come on, Z. He's got you 3-0.
I know.
There's still 4 more animals left, though. Okay. I see Steven's number.
Here we go. My answer is 212.
Oh, again, we're pretty
212,
close.
and you said
97.
The correct answer is 183. 183. We're at 4.
Paula, get off of Google.
Paula, stop.
All right. What is the highest ranked game on Board Game Geek with the word dog or dogs in the title?
I love dogs.
That's the sequel. It's soon to come, I'm sure.
If you ask Ellen Kirby, it's Downward Dog.
Yeah, that's correct.
There you go.
Dog, huh? Dog.
Dog or dogs in the title.
I have no idea. So I'm going to go with.
Can you read my horrible handwriting?
I can.
Okay.
Oh,
Don't worry.
okay. I'm glad that. Okay, I misread the first word. Okay, now I have it.
Here we go. Mine is dogs playing poker.
I had walk the dog. Again.
Okay, neither of you correct. The correct answer is a Paolo Mori game from Come On, Dogs of War at 672.
It's so funny. We're constantly thinking the animal, even though.
Yep, Dogs of War. All right, fish. Fish, fishes, and fishing. Remember, were the 3 search words for this. Fish, fishes, and fishing. How many appearances on the Board Game Geek?
We're running out of.
That's right. I'm sorry. I thought you'd be able to get it on a little sheet of paper, but no. This entails
fishing.
We're at 4-0 so far. Bonacor's pitching the shutout.
Here we go. 88.
231. So we finally.
The correct
far
answer
away from each other.
is 171. I do believe Stephen again is closer.
It's
correct.
So
yeah, he is closer. I don't have a calculator,
yes.
but
yes, I'm closer. For the audience out there, I said before this segment that you guys didn't hear it, that I was going to get killed because Z has got.
Well, you still might get killed.
You might.
Yeah, probably not.
Because there is a 5-point. That 5-point reveal at the end could be the determining factor. Okay, so what is, for 2 points, what is the highest rated game on Board Game Geek with fish, fishes, or fishing in the title?
I don't know. I think this is a game.
All right.
I'm just remembering saltwater fishing or
fresh.
Oh, you were talking freshwater fishing. I'd have given you that, but no. The answer is a game that I'm sure you're both aware of at rank 815. Hey,
that's my fish. I couldn't remember that. I had that in my head because it's a really good game, and I even have the game. And I was like, I can't remember the name of that one, so I'll just go with fresh fish.
The chat is going crazy right now. I'm sure that the whole chat was filled with, "Hey, that's my fish." All right,
I'm sorry.
2 more. Here we go. Let's finish up strong. Frog or frogs are the search terms. How many times on BGG? Frog or frogs? We're at 5-0 right now.
Oh. What's going on?
I like how Steven's making sure Z's not looking.
Here we go.
42.
88 again.
All right. I think we finally have broken the shutout. It's 99. 99 titles with frog or frogs. And what is the highest rank on Board Game Geek for frog or frogs?
Frogs playing poker.
And I'm just going to let you know right now, neither of you have any chance.
Frog,
wait a minute.
Is it going to be that, what's that for duty game with the frogs? Frog.
Fadudi's Fabulous Frogs?
No, there's a frog game he's got. I think it has the word frog in it. I don't remember.
Oh, it may be. Actually, I don't know who did this game. Oh, that's an interesting guess, Stephen. I'll tell you the truth, though.
It also came out from Stronghold Games.
But I think that would have been ineligible because it's a compound word.
Might be one word, yeah.
Well, right, it's a good guess. And it may end up being a higher ranked game than the one I actually have.
It's right behind me.
Okay.
It's not right, so don't worry.
Mine is a well-known game called Flip the Frog.
Flip the frog. No.
Frog Rider.
The correct answer, although Frog Rider's probably is higher ranked than this, at 5,021, this game is ranked Army of Frogs.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, it's from the same guy who did Hive.
Yeah, we've all.
you know the
is
game?
it really?
Yeah, it's from the same designer as Hive.
Okay, very interesting. All right, our last animal, gentlemen, is a snake. Snake or snakes are the two search terms. How many appearances on Board Game Geek for snake or snakes? We're at 5-1 right now. Steven over Z, but there's still points to be had.
I shouldn't have been ripping up these. I need now the space to write.
Uh-oh.
Snake or snakes, huh?
Yes. Gotcha, Steven.
All right. 112.
61.
Steven is, I'm going to tell you, he's a savant with this game.
Yeah, we all knew that.
The correct answer is 58.
Wow.
You were within what, 3?
3. And I should have had an exact one.
but if you sum up my numbers, no, that's still more than 3.
That is correct. All right, so right now we are at 6-1, but we still need to say what is the highest rank game on Board Game Geek with either snake or snakes in the title. 2 big points to be had here.
It's got to be this.
Oh, Z has confidence. I appreciate that. Now, I will tell you, some of these games are obscure, but Isle of Cats, Dogs of War, Hey, That's My Fish, those are some well-known games.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would venture to say this is also a well-known game. What do we got? Snake Oil.
The Head of the Snake, which
Z steals 2 points at 1,526.
This should be worth like 80 points. We haven't gotten one of these yet.
So right now, leading into our final dramatic reveal of what you wrote earlier is we have 6-3, and there are 5 points to be had here. Which of these animals, and you should know it because we actually already did the numbers, but I'm sure you've forgotten. Which of these animals had the highest number of appearances? What did you write?
I wrote cat, and it was right, I think, right?
It was cat. You both got the 5 points. So 5, 6, 7, 8 for Z, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for Steven. 8 to 11. Is that correct? Is my math correct? I think it is. If not, we're going with it anyway.
I think what you're saying is Steven wins.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is I win again
Steven
against
wins.
Dice Tower people.
How can you be that smart and that attractive? It's inconceivable.
It's not fair, Steven, and I won't stand for it. Well, that was fantastic. You're the master of animal-themed games, Steven. Congratulations. Z, better luck next time. Brush up on your animal knowledge. But for the time being, I think we should just go to some more wonderful contributors, shall we?
Let's do it.
Hi everyone, my name's Danielle from the YouTube channel Board Game Bakes. It's great to be back to contributing to Board Game Breakfast. I'm a transition back with Sur of the Seas, which is a fun 2 to 8 player game that has a lot of versatility. We're going to make the actual board game tiles so you can play your own edible game. Let's get started. The first step in decorating your cookies is to do an outline in the dark blue royal icing. The next step in making your cookies is to use the dark blue thinned royal icing to flood your cookies. But then there's the fun part. If you look at the syrup pieces, there's actually little wave designs in the background. So we're going to use that by doing a wet on wet cookie decoration. So first we're flooding it all with the dark blue royal icing, and then while it's still wet, we're going to use some of the slightly thinned light blue icing to copy the decorations on the tiles. I literally just took out the number of tiles I needed and just kind of matched a cookie to each tile, so this way I could just copy the design. The final step on our cookie journey is to make the wake lines left by the ships. In order to do this, we're going to first outline with the thick white royal icing. I once again just took a tile and copied exactly how it was on the tiles. Once the white lines dried, then I first filled it in with that thinned light blue royal icing and put little accents of the dark blue on top. Ooh, it looks like the actual game pieces. Yay! Thanks for watching this quick overview for how to make your own Sur of the Sea tiles. If you want some more details or maybe a little slower, tune into my channel Board Game Bakes and please hit subscribe. Keep playing games and keep them sweet. Bye!
Hi, I'm Ambie, and I like playing games, but I also like keeping track of those plays. I use the app BG Stats to keep track of my plays, and I really like it because it syncs up with my Board Game Geek account, and it lets me see these cool insights into stats of games I've played, like the number of games I've played and who I've played them with. And recently, it even added the stat percentage of owned games played in its insights. Ideally, this should be 100% for all-time game plays, but not quite there. I actually don't have too many games that I own and haven't played yet because my husband and I regularly cull our collection and get rid of games that we don't need anymore. It took me a while to become comfortable with the idea of getting rid of any of my games, so I'll give you some tips on what we think of when we cull our collection. There are 3 questions that we ask ourselves when we decide whether we're going to keep a game. Firstly, do we like it? Now I say we here instead of I because I play games mostly with my husband and other people, but if we own a game, both of us need to enjoy it. In the past, we've gotten rid of some games that either I really liked or my husband really liked and the other one of us didn't like it because it just never got played. And that leads me into the second question, does the game get played? There have been games that we've played a lot in the past and really enjoyed, such as Android Netrunner, which I played a lot in 2013, but then we stopped playing it, and we actually got rid of it because we weren't going to play it again in the future. This question also applies to this specific copy. If our friend owns the same game and we never play our own copy, then we can just always play our friend's copy because we always play it with them. And the last question is, does the game have sentimental value? So there are some games that we will never get rid of just because it has value to us personally. So if we answer no to all those 3 questions for a game, then that game is a candidate for getting rid of. But even with that, there are still some games we have sitting in shrink that we haven't played, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna play it soon, and I've been telling myself that for the past 3 years or so. But one of these days, I'm gonna get my percentage of owned games played to 100%. Bye!
Hi, it's Tarrant.
It's Stella from Meeple University. Today, we're talking about Last Second Quest, the game we try to fill up our chest and argue with each other.
Yeah, so this is it's a real-time game. You've got a grid to fill up, and then there's a whole lot of double-sided polyomino item tiles, and you have to try to fill them up into your board as quickly as you can. And at the start of each round, we flip over a card, and it gives you a certain class or classes of item, maybe like ranged weapons or evil items, which are worth points, and a certain class, like maybe food or something like that, which is not. And so you very quickly try to put things in. You try to get the good items that meet the categories that you're doing. And then when it's all said and done, you sit back and you argue about whether what you've put has fit in the category or not, because the game doesn't tell you whether it fits into the category. It's sort of implied, but there is grey area.
There's grey area, which is me and Taryn was arguing whether a pillow was a weapon or not, because, well, technically you can hurt someone in their sleep.
It's called a pillow fight for a reason.
That makes a lot of sense as well.
So I think for me, what makes this work really well is the same thing which makes Deception Murder in Hong Kong work really well. It's this game that
open to discussion about items.
It creates a situation where you argue about objects, and for some reason that's just fun to me.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Well, that is Last Second Quest, and we are Meeple University on YouTube and also on the Dice Tower for how to play and pocket playthrough and live playthrough now. See you next time.
All right, everybody. Well, that wraps up our show, and I think now you understand why Tom Vassell usually hosts Board Game Breakfast Live. We apologize for nothing. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I want to remind you again about our contest for Antimatter from Bard Shark. Go to the beginning of the show, check out all the information about that, and make sure you enter so that you have a chance to win. I want to thank Mike. I want to thank Steven for joining me today. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to host. And I hope you had a good time. Hope you had some laughs, some info. We're going to get out of here, folks.
Less Tom, more us, right? That's what they want.
That's the hashtag that I keep seeing trending on Twitter right now.
It's trending.
Less Tom, more us. Is that what we're going?
The best. It's not the best hashtag. Right. It needs work.
I'll work
on it. Let's work on that before that starts to go viral. All right, everybody. I am Z Garcia.
I'm Mike DeLisio. Take care, everybody.
And I'm the Podfather, Stephen Bonacor.
Have fun gaming, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.